What up? Just getting started. up, what up? Get into it.
All of the content in this video is protected by the copyright.
Right? Have you ever done like?
I used to be a clown on cruise ships. Like
Okay,
a
so you know.
professional clown.
You know then, all right. Now, if you've seen theme cruises, I'm sure, where it's like, you know, I did a thing called Shiprocked, where it was a bunch of heavy metal bands, and then they had like a comedy stage, right?
It's crazy the bands that have cruises, like
Yeah, dude.
the 311 cruise, is
311
like
has a
an
huge
annual
cruise.
event.
The Bare Naked Ladies have a cruise. It's huge.
Yeah,
apparently.
the radio, Mike Calta from Tampa
Yeah, yeah.
has a cruise.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love Mike Calta.
My favorite guy in the
Yeah,
world.
he's
Wait,
a
like,
man. We started off hating each other.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did. We did a podcast together, and we just didn't. I didn't know who he was, he didn't know who I was, and we did not like each other. And now I love the guy.
He's the best. Like, we always make a point to get
Hate fun. Steve-O hates fun, guys.
Let's go. Fucking guy.
I got matching tattoos with Mike Calta.
Oh, nice.
We got the Grinder app logo.
Me and Big J have a few matching tattoos.
Fuck.
Never, not even like, we tried to just get like a dot tattoo.
Yeah. I
Nothing.
mean, dude, Bernard.
Yeah, that as well.
Jesus had tattoos.
That was offensive, actually. Jesus Christ. Really? Really, dude?
Dare you?
Yeah, dude. Okay,
But
so
the cruises, though, but we took the influence because you go on a cruise, you know, on one deck there's a show going on. Half an hour later, another show starts on another deck. There's a meet and greet over here on another deck. In a skate together, all the bands, all the audience, we're all partying all the time. You can't really
the bands don't have their own.
deck. Honestly, it's not really fun to hang out on that deck because they so like I drummers were doing it. Drummers were hanging out amongst the fans.
Dude, how huge are those?
It's crazy. It's
mean,
crazy.
are they-
It's so weird just even to know my friends are famous. Because Comics Club, we're like, we're all in each other. So one day we're not.
Right.
And then it's not even like we're I think
The overtake.
like a high-end car salesman. Those guys that are fucking selling Lexuses and Mercedes-Benz that might actually be doing better than me right now. That's where I'm at. But all of my friends, like, it's very weird to watch them get famous, right?
So you came up like early in your career before they had that show.
No, I came from comics though, and Sal's been a friend of mine for a long time. They were already pretty big when I became friends with Sal, but it's interesting that he has that attitude. Those guys were just dudes that worked at a bar that were doing like improv shit, and they didn't have sort of like the ego of like a lot of guys that get famous. You go through the audition process, you're acting, and you sort of build a tough skin. You're in Hollywood, it's a different path. With comedy, it's sort of like it's kind of cool.
I mean, I think anybody who achieves like success, wealth, whether it's comedy, whether it's acting, like, no matter what, I think you can't become famous without having some.
Oh, you're gonna eat shit, of course. Yeah.
Like you turn into an asshole. You get bestowed all this like power and influence, and you're gonna. I'm just glad that Mike Hughes that was 20 years ago. You
No
know,
social media.
before everybody had a video camera in their pocket. You know?
I know, dude. Yeah.
And I'm extra lucky because now I've been clean and sober for 14 years. And at the end of 14 years, so I'm real lucky. I know what it's like.
Like just sort of grinding and being a poor comic and fucking sleeping on somebody's couch. Like it's part of like you sort of love it in a weird way. Like you're just gonna get up every night, you're going to open mics, just trying to get laughter and fucking that's the currency is just like getting up on stage and like that's what you sort of need. I don't know if it's as and I've acted, I've taken acting classes, I've done a ton of
Nice.
Anyway, I never sort of like that grind didn't feel the same. Sort of like
Yeah, what's your take on the difference between the East Coast and West Coast? By West Coast, Akash from Flagrant said that yesterday.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that guys are. Philly or from fucking those guys in LA or from Boston or New York. I think
Do what you gotta do.
trying to find nobody really gives a fuck about like status in New York. Whereas I think in LA, it's just a little bit more.
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to have status to get a spot in the cellar. Isn't that true?
Status, not much. Status, so that's amazing.
Motherfucker.
Get a spot at the cellar. You're really funny and you're poor. You have no TV credits. You just started out. You can get into the cellar. You can. When I got into the cellar, I was like, shit. I had nothing going on. They just, you know, honestly, my story with the cellar was crazy. It was when Tracy Morgan got into that crazy bus accident. He had a couple comics on the bus with him that were cellar comics. Marty from Block, Harrison as well. They massively into Marty was really funny, right? And regular host of comics. And like, you know, the cellar was talking about everything. It's very crazy.
Did he get unconscious thing all the out
Yeah, obnoxiously, but he's doing different fucking fitted suit. He's like, I would take that in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
When he was the house host of the cellar, like about 5-6 nights a week, he was the guy. He got in that car accident. It was like they were at a loss. They didn't have any hosts, so they booked me. I didn't even audition. I was hanging out with Bobby Kelly and a couple other comics, and they were like, "Oh, Lewis is a great host." And they were like, "Dude, we'll start working." And they put me in right there. And I had nothing going on, so it was based off of I think every day of my life. Every day of my life will really start on the correct trajectory of my career.
That's epic. So you said that you like refused to
Fuck.
audition for TV or
Because the brand of content that I do, the Legion of Skanks, we call it the most offensive podcast ever. And we do that on purpose. It's very much on purpose. If you click on it, fuck you. You knew what you were going to use. I'm not tricking you. I'm not jumping on your TV screen and going, hey, you know, I do a black version of my comedy. I can audition. I'm not going to audition. Because I'm a guest here. And that's the comedy and the interview that you want to have, right? So I have a very
wow, so you're withholding. Give me
You
a
don't want me.
Give us this.
I threw Donkey out there. You guys almost fucking had a heart attack.
That's it.
It's just right. I saw you guys fucking hit the edit fucking like.
No, I wasn't worried about that.
No. Kidding. But yeah, so my philosophy is like, see what we're doing on the platform. So the version that we do on iTunes, so we're editing. We beep out certain words. We edit them down. That is a specific version. If you have to come to my platform to get an understanding.
Okay, so you've got a subscription.
I got a subscription through GastroNetwork.com, and you can get all the. And we have 700 episodes of the podcast available. So it's the latest release available on iTunes and on YouTube.
Now, when
Oh, fuck.
this podcast we're doing right now is not with the it's completely independent. We just have
Let's talk.
we just have a guy who buys the ads. And he's particularly savvy. He's a great friend of mine. He said he's only got like 3 or 4 podcasts, so we get like genuine attentive TV operations. We get a lot of attention. And I just don't understand outside of the actual shopping side the ad spots.
Why
Like,
you- why you
what
need
does
a
the network do? What is a podcast network? I'll tell you what, I don't need not with a podcast network. And all I I'll tell you what I know about podcast networks. I'm not with one because I don't need. You know what I need? I need ShipStation because I like to sell a ton of fish. What is ShipStation? It's a platform that gives me the best rates place for all of the shipping ways to go. FedEx, UPS, USPS, that's right. And it's one clean and simple interface which brings them all together. Easy to use and tell me how the items of ShipStation what do they say? Nothing. Yeah. So, my friend, yeah, dude, that's what we're talking about. And how am I gonna try and sell a ton of Yeah Dude merch? Well, first off, by telling you to pre-order this right now, and second, by using ShipStation. And no matter what your business is or how you sell, if you've got Amazon, just your own website, Etsy, doesn't matter. It brings them all into this one easy-to-use interface and gives you prices for shipping that are usually saved for Fortune 500 companies. I'm telling you, it's the secret to my success, and they're willing to give you a 60-day free trial. You just go to ShipStation.com. At the top right corner, you click the microphone. You use the promo code STEVO, and you've got hassle-free,
Fuck yeah.
totally free, easy shipping service at your fingertips for 60 days. You try that out for free and tell me you're not making money. Yeah, dude, because that's what it's all about, is making money. So one more time, go to ShipStation.com, hit the microphone in the top
Ooh,
right
almost
corner,
fast
use the
this,
promo
but-
code STEVO, and enjoy 60 days of hassle-free, free ShipStation. Make ship happen. Yeah, dude. Now, let's find out about this goofballs network.
So for certain people, they don't need it, right? Certain people, like Tim Dillon was on my network, and when he left my network, he blew the fuck up, right? But you know, it wasn't right for him. He wanted to do his Patreon thing. He wanted to go out there and, you know, do it independently.
Is it production help? Like
Production help. So we have
What do we
studios
got next?
downtown.
They're gonna edit for you. You don't
Everything.
have to hire an editor.
2 producers, social media manager, post-production guy. All the clips get edited for you. They get captioned. You have
Okay.
the actual studio space itself. We have a beautiful studio
What about
downtown.
the booking?
Booking of guests. We also have
guests.
18 producers on staff, so we have meetings every single week. We have 2 meetings a week. They have a creative meeting, and then we have like sort of a meat and potatoes number meeting. So we're sharing data, what works for this podcast, what's not working for this podcast, the new algorithms, the new platforms. When YouTube is launching their new version of TikTok and Reels, and when Reels launch. Just sort of understanding the landscape when you have a collective mindset, which the goal is to grow everyone's brand and make everyone more money. There's massive benefit that outweighs the 20% or whatever that we're going to take of the profits of the show.
Okay. Now, when you do
Don't get me talking business, Steve-O.
when you do a contract with a podcaster to get them into your network, the contract would have to address AdSense revenue from the YouTube channels. And what would be the split on that, just as an example?
So if you're on your personal YouTube channel, we don't take any of the
AdSense.
YouTube revenue.
Oh, wow,
We take none
okay.
of that. We sell our own ads. We actually have our own ad sales company separate
Let's
from
do it.
Gas Digital. So we sell our own ads, and we make money off of subscriptions, and we make money off. We have our own merch company as well called podcastmerch.com.
And do you do the fulfillment for the merch?
So no, we were, but it was a fucking nightmare. We were like, we got this. We could just part-time do the. No, it got crazy. So we have a partner that does fulfillment here in New York City, and that's a whole other fucking business.
Does the merch, do you establish an inventory and then sell it down, or do you print the shirts after they've been ordered?
We do both. So depending, the really popular designs, we establish inventory. We do print on demand for certain designs, which is a more expensive process. Or very often we do like pre-sales. So we'll do like, for this month, you can get this shirt, limited edition. Once the month is over, that's
Right.
that, and then it ships out after
How
that.
long does it take you to turn around the pre-sale? Like, okay, we got 100 orders, print.
You just said end of the month.
2 to 4 weeks. So, but after the pre-sale's done, so let's say we do a 2-week pre-sale.
Right, then you're gonna only print as many as you sold, so there's no.
That's the best
Alright,
margin.
see what these cars like.
That's how we make the most money. You don't have those limited editions. You say the shirt's going away, you'll never get it again.
Right, I mean, dude, the Bad Prince guys, Bobby and Andrew, they're destroying.
Yeah, Cheetah told me some of the numbers. And I was just like,
Same track, Nuremberg.
Just excellent. Our logo is so fucking sick. It's just like that logo. It works. We have to just can't cancel this logo. We have to
It's not
Oh, well.
entirely unlike the grinder.
Alright, keep it a little higher in the gear.
Hacks from the 90s, though.
Big J opened for Korn.
I know, he was. He tells everyone.
And John.
And no one else goes, yeah, dude, that's fucking gay. But when Big J, he loves it. He gets a tear in his eye every time.
Yeah, 100%. And when we spoke with Jonathan Davis, the lead singer of Korn, who just gushes about Big J.
Oh, he does.
Oh, dude,
So
absolutely.
check this out. We did a thing called the presidential election of Legion of Skanks. During the pandemic, it got crazy, right? We're like, we're gonna make a president of Legion of Skanks. You know, the old hack radio,
Okay.
right? And me and Dave and Jay were running, and then Ari Shafir jumped into the mix. You know Ari?
And of course.
Ari's one of the sweetest people, probably one of the funniest people in the world. And he brings the best out of us. He's a prankster. He's just kind of like, there's just something about him. This whole bit of,
Is Ari Shafir the definition of they can't cancel you?
yes.
Okay.
We gave Roger a lie detector test on the show, like a FBI grade lie detector test, and he asked him if he regretted the Kobe tweet, and he said no, he was not lying. He did not regret it at all.
I mean, that was like, and then the
We also asked him if he found Brendan Schaub funny. He said yes, and that was a lie.
okay, that I saw. What about,
Well, the election so
what about, does he regret dosing Bert Kreischer? Was you asking that?
no, but he during this election is when he dosed Big J.
Oh, but
He did it after?
Jesus.
He dosed Big J with acid. It was fucking nuts. Well, here's what really happened. I tried to dose Ari.
Right, and he knew it was happening, so he switched his drink on Jay.
Somebody, I told Shane Gillis, like you're an idiot. I told Shane Gillis, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do it. I was like, Ari's gonna win the election today. This whole thing is stupid, okay? Like Ari's gonna come in and become the president of Legion of Skanks. He's not even on the show. I was like, I'm gonna dose him though to get back from Bert.
Yeah,
I put a tap
totally
of acid
appropriate.
in his beer. One tap of acid, Ari loves
Wait,
acid.
and you put the piece of paper in there and drop.
Piece of paper. Piece of paper.
Right, that doesn't seem like it would be particularly effective.
I don't think it would be that effective either, to be honest with you. Like, you've done acid before, you know. But he finds out. So you see, it's all on camera. You watch the whole thing happen, right? When Big J makes it laugh, you know, live crowd
Right,
there.
Big J's in on it. He thinks that Ari's getting dosed,
He thinks Ari's being
but
dosed.
doesn't know that Ari switched their drinks.
So Ari leans over, switches the drinks. You see Shane like, oh shit. And it's on camera. You watch it back, it's wild. It's a wild thing. And Big J, sure enough, he drinks the whole thing, dude. And Ari starts acting like he's on acid. Like, and so I'm like, yeah, I fucking got him. So I get really into right. So at the end of the show, like Ari's like doing all this, he's acting. So I was like, that's it, Ari, I got you. I dose you. And then he comes at him and he goes, he's like, I fucking did. You were gonna do that? He was like, you all look at, I switched your drinks. And then Big J realized, you see Big J's face. He's like, he's doing it. I don't feel right now. I don't feel right. What's going on? Big J stayed up for 48 hours straight. 48 hours straight.
He told me about it.
Didn't trip. Just mad at his friends. So the only effect of the acid was the negative.
Fuck.
Like the
Battle
bad
between
trip
my other
or
beamer,
just-
though.
Oh, I've done a fuck ton.
Yeah, dude. So when you have a bad trip and you have that negative fucking
Yeah.
thing, you can't shake it. That was it for 48 hours. He wouldn't into his friends. Wouldn't answer anybody's
Now,
calls.
is it safe to say that in the world of Legion of Skanks, two wrongs do make a right?
We created one of the funniest moments in podcasting. Big J is still salty about it to this day.
Where can they see this video?
It's up on the YouTube channel. If you look up Legion of Skanks,
It's
you
on
watch
the YouTube.
What I would do is I would go watch it on GasDigitalNetwork.com, subscribe with the premium service, use the promo code LOS, get a free trial. You can go watch the entire series that we did of the election when it starts right up to the end. And we did a trial afterwards on whether or not who's more responsible for Jay's dosing, me or Ari. It was a really fun. It's a fun show, dude. It's so silly. We say all the dumb words you're not supposed to say, right? So
Now, like, I gotta believe that on YouTube, that's a very, very striking rating.
no, we left everything out. Yeah.
I know, but just the, like, showing drugs, like, and showing someone weak. I mean, that's high level.
On the Joey Diaz podcast, they were fucking frying balls on. Ari was on it.
I know, but at the
Bravo.
very least, that's consensual. When you're giving someone a drug, you're dosing someone without their consent, that's the highest level of assault.
I think if Big J would have complained about it anyway, yeah, we probably would have gotten our channel taken down and gotten in trouble. But the reality is, like,
It's cool.
well, it's a bit, you know what I'm saying? What we really could say is, like, no, what are you talking about?
Right,
It's a
right,
joke.
right,
It's not
right,
we're
right.
acting like, yo, really now? Yeah, what'd you do if I dose both of you at the beginning of this podcast?
That-
It's just
that-
that thing that I do.
That would be a tough one because we're sober guys.
I'd be pissed, but I'd be like, free laughs.
But you know what, dude?
Right, I mean,
Free laughs.
yourself what was your intention. Because there was a time when like I asked for water, and it was like fucking gin and tonic. I had no idea. Take a sip, but
Did it fuck with you a little bit?
no, it absolutely fucking. However, like I genuinely, I mean, in your heart when your intentions were like that was an accident.
Well, so then the guy that this guy was driving an Uber, and his girls left a little Altoid box. And when they got out, he opened it up. He was sober. He had like 4 or 5 years. He opened up the box, and then there was a bunch of dust in there. So he's like, "Fuck it." He snorted it.
See that?
And it was crazy. It was Altoid dust. So is that a relapse or what?
That's a
I
relapse.
mean-
That's psychologically a relapse.
That's like, but no, that's not a relapse because the drugs didn't. I mean, it was like.
It's not a relapse, but when you're talking about the intent was.
The intent.
He was like, "Fuck it."
I guarantee that guy's not still sober today.
For sure.
No
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
way.
yeah. Fair point,
Yeah.
but at that point it wasn't a
Yeah,
relapse.
not technically. I'll give him that. But
Yeah.
in a court of law, it's not a relapse.
Right.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, dude, I fucking-
It's kind of like if you're in a committed relationship and you hit on one and she rejects you. You've not cheated. You tried.
Oh,
You
you're
failed.
yeah, your girl will. That will
You're
not.
done.
I've gotten, dude. Oh my god. Actually, speaking of which, you said you had to go to rehab for
Yeah.
sex addict.
Yeah, I
I don't know
got
if I'm a sex addict because I very well might be.
Do you have shame in your life
and-
from sexually acting out?
And shame is a big one, but is it causing problems in your life? I mean, that's the definition of addiction: is continued behavior despite consequences.
Has it caused problems? Cheating has caused problems. That's what's caused problems. I'm not currently in a relationship. I think the level of sex addiction that I have now, which is I constantly need sex,
Fuck.
is
I mean, dude, it's a time suck, man.
yeah.
It's the most
Oh,
fucking.
that's my favorite kind of sex. Time sucked. I fucking love it, dude.
It's, I mean, it's like there's a lot of stress with like, man, what did I just put my dick in? Like, oh
Yeah,
god, I
dude,
got
yeah,
like
dude.
the health concerns, especially like Scott's a particularly like problematic type of sex addict because he's a germaphobe.
I'm
So,
on a contract, but I hate condoms.
Yeah, but
yeah,
So I convince myself that I have AIDS daily. Just being out with hookers, I've gone down on them. It's a goddamn nightmare, okay?
I just want to say I'm profoundly grateful for my over 5 years of sexual sobriety. My dick's not been anywhere it doesn't belong.
Wow.
For over 5 years, I've lived transparently and honestly in a
Yeah.
committed relationship.
That's great.
And done the
I
right
want to
thing.
be there. By the way, that's
Yeah.
what I want. Like
Right.
now, I'm getting a little older, dude. I got a 9-year-old kid.
I mean, dude, yeah,
you know.
you're 40. As I approached 40, I thought, oh my god. And I had a joke in my stand-up back then. I was like, you know, I'm
Why
sorry,
didn't
I'm
it count
approaching
it?
40, and I'm asking myself, like, do I want to be in my 50s, like chasing pussy around, trying to hump everything that
It was the
moves,
most important thing
you know,
forever.
like, do I want to be 50, physically falling apart and trying to fuck everything that moves? And no, I don't want to turn into Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Who will also be at Skankfest.
I love him. I love him. But that was one of my jokes. And when you
That's
talk
funny.
about the grind in the comedy club circuit, you know that when you're in that comedy club apartment, like you're just sleeping in Pauly Shore's cum.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's all over the place. You get a blue
Yeah.
light, dude. It's just Pauly
Really, any comedy condo, you're gonna sleep in some comedian's cum that you don't want to be in.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, look, that like chasing pussy and like it was
Sure.
just such an important whatever it was. I think it's because I just didn't get pussy when I was a kid, and it just like when I was finally charismatic enough and I sort of learned the game. Like I'm a salesman, so I started applying like sales technique to
Right.
like I just rejection stopped bothering me.
I get it.
You know, it's a game of numbers. I'm like, cool, I can close 1 out of 10 girls. Let me just fucking ask 10 girls and I'll get laid, right?
Right, I get it, and it's so counterintuitive
Yeah.
that the you're doing it to validate yourself, to build your own self-worth because you're telling yourself, I'm a guy who can get laid.
Yep.
But the reality of the less your self-worth actually becomes, you know, like you think you're validating yourself and being the man, but like it's just so backwards.
Yeah.
And like I think that for me, I really got to a point, like as I approached 40, I just thought, dude, like this whole just trying to get laid all the time, just always trying to get your dick sucked, it's just such like just a one-way street to just a miserable existence,
Yeah.
just being, and I don't want that. And I really subscribed to the idea that future happiness and quality of life is dependent on me learning how to be in a healthy, committed relationship.
And also, when you're trying to fuck around with that many chicks, right? So you're trying to it was almost a game. Like, could I get laid more than once in a day, more than twice in a day, right?
Sure.
Like there was like legit. Like that's where it's like really bad behavior. Where then you're lying to multiple people.
100%.
And it was like fuckboy behavior. Like I was really liking. Like I was acting like I liked these girls, and I was like,
Yeah,
just
well,
what it means to an
Yeah.
end. So that's where that was sort of where the shame and the guilt and the
Yeah.
anxiety from being a fucking liar. That's the thing that like
Yeah.
now in my life, where I've really turned a corner at 40 is I'm not lying to people. I won't lie to chicks. I won't lie to my
That's
friends
good.
because it gives me anxiety. It's not even about being an honest person. I don't want to live with that anxiety. I would rather just deal with the sort of the minor uncomfortability of having an honest conversation because it's way
For
more
sure.
comfortable than being
But
anxious.
it's even more than that. It's like sexualizing your feelings. So if anything that happens to you, you sexualize it. And so what that means is like I got back into therapy and because I have like severe intimacy issues with women. And so like I kind of get claustrophobic and I'm like really trying to work on that. So they're like you need to abstain 30, 60, 90 days without having an orgasm. So I'm on
He's on like day 60.
I'm on
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't had an orgasm in like 60 days.
This is what the
I went-
Proud Boys do.
No, but what it
I went
does
431 days without blowing a load.
Whoa.
I did not blow a load for the entire year of
That was
2014.
that was because of therapy and being
Coming out of that sex addict rehab.
yeah, and so like but,
maybe I don't want to go to this place.
but
You don't have
what
to do
you'll
that.
I want to
notice
come right now.
exactly because you're getting
You
a
don't- you
little.
don't-
We're talking about. I'm getting all worked up. Let's go, dude. Let's jerk each other off.
You don't have to do that, but I can say I absolutely relate to everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you were describing about acting like you like girls. In my case, I would actually feel genuinely infatuated
Yeah.
about a girl. I would believe that she was this special thing, and I would pour on the charm, make
Yeah.
her feel so special that she was like just the one, and I would feel that way. But then once I hooked up with the chick, then it would just be like
It would fade
just
pretty quickly.
like a light switch. The switch is flipped, and all of a sudden I'm just
It was
like,
the game. It was the hunt.
yeah, and it was in my inventory work as a guy in recovery, we just identified this behavior as fully sociopathic.
Yeah.
It was a repeating pattern of misleading the person
Yeah.
to believe that I really that I was gonna be the one for them.
Yeah.
Misleading and then exploiting and then neglecting and then abandoning and then repeat.
Yeah.
And like you don't have to be Freud
why it's
to
making me
like
do this now.
to understand that really what was going on. I have terrible abandonment issues. Fear of rejection is the gnarliest thing.
Yeah.
So when I was treating women this way, not only was I not treating them the way I wanted to be treated, I was specifically treating them the way I most feared to be treated, which is the recipe for like the worst, most toxic, terrible. Going around treating people the way you expect to be treated, that's the opposite of any fucking bad.
Did you have an uncomfortable experience?
They just said you need to rewire your brain. He's so extreme that he just said fuck it.
Yeah, they say
Joe, when you finally came, was it?
I stole a joke from Bobby Lee, marshmallow coming out.
Yeah, how long were you supposed to go for? Why did you go 431 days?
They recommended like 30, 60, 90, something like that.
What's 36 90? Just
Like
So
this,
perhaps-
it said something like to take 30 days, not or 60 or 90. Like,
that's the extreme version is 90.
yeah.
You're on day 60 right now.
One day 60, and the idea behind that is like anything that happens to me during the day, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go jerk off, or oh, I'm gonna go text girls. Like, there's none of that. You can see your brain actually rewiring the different pathways of like everything that I did would be compulsively just to go out.
Yeah.
But I mean, a weird way, that's like, isn't that how we got to the moon? Isn't that why we're
Sure.
talking into microphones right
Sure.
now? That's very Freudian, right? Everything is sexual, everything is
Yeah, but
sexualized.
I'm not
And
happy with
personal
my
greatness.
behavior.
Right.
Look, I don't know if I'd be sitting here today with the fucking great Steve-O
Cut this
if I
block,
wasn't
right?
so obsessed with getting pussy, because that was a part of the reason that I stayed out late. It was one of the reasons why I kept
question why I went 431 days, in my mind, and I think this is really important, like, I knew that it would mean absolutely nothing for me to find the right person. Like, I wasn't on a quest to find the right person to get in a relationship with. I was on a quest to become the right person.
That would be worthwhile of somebody worthwhile wanting to have a relationship with. Right.
My mantra was, I'm working to become the man that the love of my life deserves. And my philosophy about that was that I wanted to not only remove myself, to put distance between myself and my history acting out sexually, but I also wanted to prove to myself and to my future love of my life that I could go for like an insane amount of time without giving into the impulse, giving into the urge, you know? Like, I just wanted to be able to trust myself. That I was for 431 days, I was being faithful to a woman who I had not yet met.
How long into the relationship, or how long into the 461 days did you meet your current?
431.
So you waited 30 days.
I started working with you around day 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came in on as his professional cock blocker.
He was my cock blocker because I was like, man, I just got out of sex addict rehab, and I don't want to blow everything that I just fucking worked on. I'm gonna go on tour, and it's like, I used to do meet and greets with the entire audience after every show, and it was a bona fide audition.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so I was like, dude,
that's why we started Skankfest.
Stop giving our secrets.
Yeah, the only way I could expect to maintain my sexual sobriety was to bring a sober companion.
So we shared a room everywhere we
shared
went.
a room every fucking night. We slept next to each other in twin beds. And to answer your question, after that, how long was it until I met my girl? I had some misfires. You know, I had some failed relationships.
Yeah.
And you know, and I had to go back out.
But you didn't hook up with any of the girls like during that time. You didn't date.
I had a couple relationships, and they, you know, for the best I was capable of at the time, but it was like third time relationships.
What happened at the 431 that made you like, I'm gonna do it today?
I was in Austria.
Well, no, I remember clearly. You sent me a photo of the load all over your chest. But I'm saying, like, what made you decide to do it? Like, okay, I think I can come now.
What it was that I was filming this British reality television in Austria. It was a bona fide 6-week vacation. I got paid a bunch of money, and the premise of the show was sports, skiing, and doing all this fun shit. And I wanted to hook up with one of the contestants on the show, and I really like for that 6 weeks I was just unplugged. Like back home in LA, I had a men's therapy group. I had like a support system. I just unplugged, and by detaching from everything that kept me accountable and responsible and sober, just that insanity took over.
Did you look at it as like a fuck up when you failed, or were you just like, I'm sort of ready to like?
Well, I went on to, and I was like, okay, I really care about this woman. She lives in England. I live in LA. She's got 2 kids. She's a wonderful person. It just like didn't make sense.
And you just jerked off because you didn't want the first time for you to do that to be.
Pretty much. I was like, okay, now.
She would have 3 kids.
I want.
It's fucking.
Yeah, they're like a fucking genius kid. I get it.
I don't know that.
No, the book autobiography of Yogi, like Yogi Nama's parents only fun once a year to have a kid. It's like the semen retention.
Yeah, so in any case, man, it's a big deal, and I think that the sociopathic behavior, just routinely doing harm to others, it's just not good.
Well, that's something I've tried to move past. And like honestly, there's there's the guilt of pulling the ghost routine, pulling off the rug.
Bach.
And then you freed up. Now all of a sudden you've got so much time to focus here. And imagine how successful you would be in your podcast network. All the time you squandered on chasing pussy rather than put into focusing on your success.
I don't get dork. People wouldn't follow me then. I gotta be. They like me because I'm a pussyhead. To be honest with you.
How many girls are you texting right now?
Honestly,
At once.
in a weird way, dude. Like, I'm kind of a person. Maybe I should say that.
Kind of.
No, because I kind of like this one person, right to the point where I'm like, you know, I was supposed to.
I kind of like this one person who said the 16 others I'm texting mean nothing to me.
All 8 of these girls are gonna think I'm talking about them right now.
So if the girl that you really like says like, dude, are you talking to anybody else? What do you say?
I would say yes. But the reality is, like, I've had plans recently with like other chicks, and I've canceled them because I got this chick on my mind a little bit. So, you know, who knows? I'm at a place now where I keep on jumping from relationship to relationships. That's the other thing is I'll be in a committed relationship to a chick until I get bored after 6 months. And then I start
Serial
6 months is the
serial monogamous.
But
yeah.
6 months is the pattern.
At this point, it's about 6 months. Yeah, that's my pattern where I go, all right, they're not going to be the stepmother to my child. They're not going to be like the person to
But
be in the
for that 6 months, your child has now developed a relationship with
Yes.
them, and then you're uprooting it.
Yeah. And I try to be friends with them, but they'll hate me after we break up. Like, in my mind, I'm like, why can't we be friends? I didn't do anything. I didn't love you that much.
You want to get your head fucked up right now?
No, please. I like
So they have a thing called your arousal template. Your arousal template is set when you're a kid from like 4 to 9
Oh, yeah.
as a boy. And
It's
then,
fucked up. My mom showed me Clockwork Orange when I was 7. So I knew what gang rape was when I was 7. Like, I watched those scenes. They're burned in my head. I'll never forget them.
I remember I was 8 years old when someone showed me I spit on your grave. Where the girl, in the beginning, the girl gets gang raped. She goes around and she murders everyone who raped her. That's the one movie.
Yeah. That's the whole movie, yeah.
There's a scene where one of the guys, she murdered the guy, one of the guys who gang raped her in the beginning, and she cuts off.
Let's do it.
Shot, she puts it in the sink. You see the wiener laying in the sink.
okay, this isn't what movie you watched from 4 to 9. This is like what you saw from like growing up of like how your parents
My
reacted.
mom was hooked. I walked in on her with her jugs.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Very young kid, and also understood, like 4 years old, just immediately understood that she
Oh, hold on to it.
spent it intimacy, and I
Wow.
knew it was for money. Not because I saw money. It was some older guy, and like she yelled at me to get out of the room. And I remember as a kid just being like, oh yeah, she's being paid to do that. And I have no idea where I got that thought from. It was just a natural conclusion. Yeah, like sexually, like from those. I want you to continue to the point because I'm actually interested in this, but it's just sort of immediately when you said that.
Oh,
I
no.
thought of
Oh,
the
go,
sexual
go,
things
go.
that like I was experienced or I was privy to during those formative years that's fucking me up now.
Well, so that's why like if
My takeaway from what you just said is, man, it's white silver.
Yeah, that's what I said. It fucked me up and it made me money. You're right.
Yeah.
that's the silver lining. But it's like that's what you replicate over and
Oh
over.
no.
So, for the most part,
No.
if a girl looks really good on paper, I'm not interested. But if she's got all sorts of red flags, then like I'm very attracted. That's like the arousal template is hit.
Oh my god, the one, he's only had one girl that made him lose his mind, and there was the one that he couldn't.
But the ones that are like really healthy for me, I'm just like,
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm sort of the same way. Now that I'm a little older. How old are you?
39.
How old are you?
48 in 2 weeks.
Motherfucker sounds better than me. I'm 49.
I don't know about that. I think you look fantastic. Thanks.
At least because you haven't jerked off in a while.
I'm saving up for getting hungry.
I like how you are.
Oh.
Your arousal
God.
template.
Arousal template. I had a girl that was fucked up.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fucking, I get attracted to crazy bitches make me think, right? Like, you know, they say, like, girls will go from, like, a beta to an alpha. My pattern is crazy, normal. And the crazy girls that I date are fucking bad shit.
It's the purge and it's like the dance.
Yeah.
It's because you're like, It's like a sexual anorexic. They'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go, like somebody who abstains from sex because it makes them disgusting, and it's been like a year. Like I should probably have sex again.
Yeah.
And then they fuck like 10 times in a week, and they're like, I can never do that again, and they'll go another year without it. It's like that constant.
Yeah, and I have an extreme sort of personality like that as well. But yeah, the crazy girls are. I'm just at this point, dude. I recognize, like, I'm not gonna be like I used to get into crazy arguments with girls. I used to punch holes in my walls like a lunatic, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times just doing stupid shit. Like I would never hit a girl ever in my entire life. The amount of times that I've hit myself because a girl has driven me to the point where I need to punch something, like it's fucking. I've had so many of those relationships when I was in my teens and 20s where that was me. If a girl brings out any crazy in me at all, I see it as a red flag and I run in the opposite direction now. I can't. I have too much to lose. I have a kid now. I can't let my kid see me being a fucking crazy
I have
person
too much
ever.
to lose, so I'm only texting with 8
No.
normal chicks.
Well, but now the idea would be to like find the pattern in these women that cause you to do that, so you don't even get past the first date.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's the other thing is like, you know, as you're saying that, like, yeah,
You're like, date? I just fuck.
No, I like dating too, dude. I like going on a date. I like bringing a chick out to a nice restaurant, going to fucking, to a nice bar, classy place. Chicks love that shit, dude.
Yeah, it's like Dexter. It's like he doesn't like the actual murdering. He likes setting up the entire fucking scene.
Yeah, well, that's
the
part of
ritual.
it. Yeah, it is the ritual. And now that
It's like
Buying Coke.
but you're like the best part is like driving over there and like scoring.
No,
and then when you do it, you're like,
the best part of Coke. No, it wasn't the drive over. I think it was doing all of the Coke.
No, the best part was 3 days in when, after 3 days of being awake and doing the Coke, and so you finally finished it, and now you're actually committing yourself to go to sleep, and then when you jerk off.
Oh, that jerk off.
3 days into a Coke.
Oh, no, I hate jerking off on Coke, dude. I don't do Coke anymore. I haven't done Coke in at least a year and a half.
Good.
I hate it, dude. People try to give me free drugs all the time. Ketamine. I love ketamine.
Oh, dude,
It's not even a come down. It's fucking, you don't I went to
like Kevin's a New York thing, right? Like,
Ketamine's
Nah,
huge.
BC.
I don't know but whatever it is, I'm actually at a place right now where I think I like life. Because I don't want to remove myself from this headspace. And I smoke weed and I drink, but I'm not like, smoking weed is almost the same like so it doesn't get me stoned per se. But I just like where my life is at, and I like what's going on. I feel like when I was doing Coke and when I was doing a lot of different drugs, I was genuinely trying to escape. I was just trying to fucking be on a different plane.
You were the one who scored the acid to dose Ari?
Fan gave it to me, yeah.
acid's probably pretty hard to get at one of the skank fests, right?
Acid's back in a big way, too. Acid's everywhere, dude.
It's like when I was in Colorado.
Does anybody have any weed around here?
This comedian that was opening for me, he says, we're in Denver, and he says, man, I'm thinking about trying weed, but where am I going to find that around here?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that you said, it's like when you get a Coke and you're on a 3-day bender and the Coke's finally out. It's like, how much Coke were you buying to fucking take you 3 days to do it all?
I would typically get the one and then, like, eat another 8 balls. That was the second 8 ball, and then I was
Why didn't you just buy 2 8 balls at once?
I mean, if I had any common sense, I'd buy a fucking £1/4, but the problem
No, the problem is you buy that much, you're doing that much.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was I was very, very dark. It wasn't even like fun. I would do it by myself. It was fucking sad. Luckily, when I was in the Coke, I was broke. I was so broke, and it was just like, I couldn't afford a gym. I was doing like 4 or 5 days a week, and I was spending everything that I had on it. If I had a Coke problem, I had cash.
Yeah, I got that'll take it to huge hole.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's 'cause I did.
could she possibly fuck me? She did, but like what time? Like it's a crazy it's crazy that I look at that now. I'm like, how would you?
Her dad was probably a drug addict.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah. It's like, how could she fuck me after what she did? What a loser.
What's wrong with her? Why would she do that?
That's the classic Groucho Marx. I would never want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. Yeah, dude. Cool, man. I think we're I'm stoked. I think I might steal this from Mike Tyson from now on forever. Like the end of the podcast. One statement. Pretty cool.
Thanks for watching and
Get on that fucking get on that high level felonious assault with LSD. Hilarious.
get some LSD. Friends with people you love, the ones that trust you specifically.
Right. But enjoy the whole hilarious series. It's just great comedy.
It is really funny. And
And,
Big J, I know that Big J is funny first, so I know he thinks it's worth it. But I got a lot of live stuff. My website is lewisofskanks.com, which is all over the world.
Great.
And
This website where they're going to find your tour dates is
lewisofskanks.com.
And the next Skink Fest is
October 14th through 16th. It is completely sold out, but if you guys follow me on social media, you can get it all the time. Find podcasts. Contests, tickets. Tuning in.
all right, man. Dude, I'm super stoked.
yeah, dude. Nice to meet you too.
And you don't want anything edited out.
No. What did I say? I know if that was an option, I wouldn't have talked about all these 8 chicks I'm seeing. You know? No regrets, remember?
No regrets.
All right, man. Thanks, bro. And here we are one more time at the end of the podcast. Especially those of you who stuck around to the end of the podcast. And man, that was pretty crazy. Firing shots at full send. And you know what? Those pussies fucking had their run. It's time for Yeah Dude, right? I'm telling you. I do love Steve will do it. And I will say he doesn't say shit. He sure is full spend. Give him props for that. I love you, Steve will do it. And hey man, I'm just trying to get somewhere. So everybody, fucking know Steve. Put in this bitch ass jersey. Yeah, hey everybody, and welcome to a beautiful wild ride with Steve. We've got the world's most famous plastic surgeon, the guy who makes people beautiful for a living, and he's damn good at it. Plus, I really wanted to talk to this man, Dr. Terry Dubrow, because I'm looking for a plastic surgeon to work on me. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's 100% true. And listen to this juicy ass podcast and you will find out all about it. Also, if you care to have a raging hard boner, the good news is this podcast was brought to you by Blue Chew. What's Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew tablets are delicious, chewable tablets which have the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis.
Oh, I
Except
broke
it
my
only
car.
costs a fraction of the price. I'm telling you, it gives you a raging boner, something which I love to have. Now you might be thinking, but don't you need a prescription to get this? And you are right. But the good news is you don't have to go to an awkward in-person doctor's office visit. No, you just consult with one of their medical providers online at bluechew.com. Couldn't be easier, couldn't be quicker. And then once you're done with that, boom, your Blue Chew tablets are
Oh,
on
the
the
fucking
way.
game.
And the best news about it, Blue Chew loves the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast so much, they're giving you an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you got to pay is $5 for shipping. It doesn't get better than that. And if you're wondering whether this Blue Chew tablet phenomenon
because you're the person before you is there. You know, Dana, a lot of people out there are starting their own business because we motivate people to do things. And there's a feeling of pride of starting your own business. Shopify is the one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. It's pretty easy. I actually do it. It's pretty simple. You can sell anywhere. I do with my merch, all of my stuff, Joe Dirt stuff and all this. You just go to a website and Shopify does all the work for you. And when it sells something, it goes cha-ching on your phone.
Yes, this is an example of the leveling the playing field. So now anyone in their room, I know someone who has started a candle business and is using Shopify to grow her business.
Yeah, I have candles in my merch that smell like all my body parts. So look forward to that.
All my body, that I saw the bottle. Yeah, it's